Hey, welcome to your Leo horoscopes for the week of November 5th through the 11th. And it is a rough start to the week this week because we still have the moon in Leo this week. Unfortunately, we're kicking off the week. We ended the week with the moon in Leo causing some problems. Now we're kicking off this week with the moon in Leo causing a few problems as well, which is a little bit annoying and frustrating. Luckily, it's a couple of days and then we move on. We're going to start off with Sunday with the moon in a T square with Uranus and Mars and the sun. Now, that's first of all, an awful lot of emotion and anger and frustration all wrapped into one thing because we have, obviously the moon is, or the sun is a very intense sort of feeling. Mars is can be a very volatile and angry feeling. The moon is all about feelings to begin with. And then Uranus is just sort of, I don't know, the word crazy could be used for Aquarius. It's very out of the box. It's very volatile. It's very changeable, if that makes sense, mutable, so to speak. So these are a lot of really heavy influences all coming together. And with the moon's focus on relationships, with Uranus's focus on the home, we have the sun and Mars focus on our long-term goals. This just sort of creates this whole giant fiasco of feeling like maybe the problems within those relationships are just slowing down your progress in both areas, your home and your long-term career success, so to speak, your plans. This is actually a problem that is very common. A lot of people actually have this problem where there's just so many different issues within those relationships or within the family dynamics that just get in the way of you being able to focus on your own success. And a lot of that really does have to do with the fact that if you've been dealing with these types of situations for long periods of time, this is, of course, just totally forgot the word that I was going to use, but it's a self-punishment. That's not the word I wanted to use, but you guys know what I'm trying to say here. You're continuing to punish yourself. You're basically have had to deal with this trauma for so long that now it's like if the person isn't there that's causing the trauma, you will take over and cause the trauma for yourself. It's a means of punishing yourself because you don't feel worthy. Honestly, every single individual, Leo or not Leo, every single individual goes through this, some more than others. I've had a lot of clients. I've had some who have dealt with a tremendous amount of trauma their whole entire lives. I've had some that have dealt with a small amount of trauma that they can't seem to let go. I have some that are kind of in the middle. The amount of trauma that an individual goes through and what they went through is not more important than the next person. What matters is how you deal with that. And a lot of times when you have difficult relationships with people, that challenge, that difficulty, that feeling that they bring up every single time they come in with their BS is hard to let go of. We spend all this time in our minds reliving the moment, reliving, the things that we wanted to say that we didn't say, justifying our behavior, justifying our actions, justifying why we need to act the way that we do because they're acting the way that they are. It's very exhausting, by the way. You wouldn't even know how exhausting it is, but it is zapping your energy. All energy that needs to go towards your long-term career goals, that needs to go towards the goals, your long-term goals at home. And then you find yourself in a situation where nothing's getting done And it's all their fault. No, it's not all their fault. This week, it's time for you to take responsibility for your own stuff, right? It is absolutely 100% on you to deal with these situations. Nobody else is going to be able to. You can't just hand it over and say, here, take care of my long-term career goals for me. I mean, I wish, trust me, I would have done it already. You can't do that. Actually, I wouldn't have, because I have control issues and trust issues. The point is that it's up to you how long it takes you to get through this problem and how much time it takes away from those things that need to get done. We all have responsibilities. The world is literally getting more and more and more difficult to navigate through. We can't afford to spend time running over the different situations that caused us problems with these people and ignoring the things that we need to do in order to take care of our responsibilities and become productive individuals. Become individuals that are successful and can take care of their own stuff. And I know a lot of people, actually, I'm thinking of two Leos in particular, two lovely ladies who are not married, who own their own homes, who take care of their own financial situations, who pay their own bills. These women are the women that all of us other women should aspire to be honest with you. And yet they have their own trauma getting in the way of their success, the next steps of their success. It doesn't matter. Everybody is going through this in some way, shape, or form. The difference is that some people are making good choices and some people are not making good choices. And some people make mostly good choices and a few bad, and some make a lot of bad and a few good. That's the point. Is what are you doing about this situation for you? When this comes up, are you allowing these people to infiltrate what you're doing, what your plans are? Or are you putting the brakes on them and tell them, you know what, you've done enough, thank you very much, kick rocks and move on, right? As we move into Monday, we move out of that huge situation, which is really good. As the moon is leaving your sign and will leave your sign on Monday, he is in opposition with Saturn a little bit. Saturn is all about personal responsibility and focused on you. So again, emotional issues around relationships, the responsibility always comes back to you. You get to choose whether or not this problem is going to make you a broken mess or not. Or you get to choose whether or not this problem is so insignificant that it can't slow your roll, right? And there's going to be a million different things to trip you up in life, because that's how life is. So the more aware of yourself, the more you make sure to put yourself and the needs of yourself first, the easier it is for you to be able to slide into the next phase of life, the next chapter of life. And it also helps to clear you for change, because Leo is a fixed sign. Fixed signs don't like change. Fixed signs like the same routine forever, or at least until they get tired of it, and they come up with a new routine, right? And unfortunately, in order to grow and in order to be successful, we have to be able to be flexible enough to make changes. And this is going to help a lot. I feel like a lot of the time, difficulties in relationships is really just an excuse to feed our fears of change. Think about it that way. As we move out of that, things really calm down. In fact, Leo is in between focuses, which means there isn't anything specific that is going to be coming up outside of Sunday and probably Monday morning. There isn't anything specific to come up and get in the way of what you need to accomplish. You just need to do whatever it is that you've got set to do and do that in, with the most clear focus as possible. I also feel like the moon coming in to amplify this problem is really important right now, because all problems are lessons for us to learn. And it's not, what am I learning in this trauma in terms of who I am as a person? It's all about how you handle the situation. It's all about how you handle the trauma. When you're triggered, it's all about how you handle the trigger. So if you don't get it in with the relationships, those same triggers are going to come up in something else. They always do. Better to deal with it now than wait till later. And the more successful you are this weekend, the easier the rest of the week is going to be for you. So that's what I have for you guys this week. If you love your horoscopes, please consider sending a tip or donation to my coffee link, which is right there in the description of this video. I love all my coffees and I really appreciate that. I'm also setting up a means to be able to book a reading through that coffee link as well, just while we get the website stuff taken care of and moved around and improved and all that good stuff. So you have that option there in case you were wondering how to do that. I'm Melissa Bruce, the Heavy Metal Psychic, and I will see you guys next week. I love hanging out with you guys every week. Thank you so much for continuing to follow the horoscopes. I really do appreciate that. And I will see you guys next week. In the meantime, you guys, it's all about you. Have a powerful week. It's all about you guys standing in your power. Become the king or queen of the jungle again, because that's who you are. Step into that Leo power and make whatever it is that you want happen. No matter what it takes, just don't do anything illegal. Okay. All right. You guys have a great week, and I will see you next week.